is the murder of Angela Craig. Angela Dawn Prey Craig was born on April 15, 1979 in Dodge City, Kansas, and got out of Dodge when she married James Craig on December 18, 1999. Over the next 23 years, Angela brought 6 beautiful children into the world, and her family chose to live in the Denver, Colorado area where they have been for 15 years. Angela was a dedicated member of the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. She dedicated so much of her time. She was a loving and doting mom, a loving wife, and loved to spend quality time with her family. She was smart and energetic and witty. She was dedicated and supportive to the people that she loved, whether she showed it by showing up at every wedding, birthday party, but she was always there, being her loving and caring self. On Wednesday, March the 15th, 2023, Angela came down with a slight headache. Then all of a sudden she started feeling dizzy. So she was escorted to UC Health, University of Colorado Hospital on that said morning. Within 3 hours of arriving at the hospital, she suffered a seizure and rapidly began to decline medically. Soon after, she was placed on life support in the intensive care unit, according to court documents. A day after Angela passed away, the police officers received some anonymous tip, and hours later they arrested her husband, James Craig. A relative of Angela told police that the victim had admitted her husband had drugged her at least once before. Angela and James' marriage had always been tumultuous, she said. According to her court documents, James had multiple affairs with several women, told Angela he had been addicted to pornography since he was a teenager, and drugged Angela approximately 5 to 6 years prior. Angela told the relative that James drugged her because he stated that he wanted to go into the bathroom and committed suicide, and he didn't want her to find him or stop him from taking the lethal drugs that would end his life. That explanation to me seems so bizarre. The mother of 6 remained with her husband. However, police believe that James started to lace his wife protein shake with potassium cyanide he ordered off of Amazon for $13. At the Craig's household, police found workout-style shakers in 2 Ziploc-style bags with white powdery substance in them. In Mr. Craig's internet history, they also found chilling searches for how many grams of pure arsenic will kill a human, how to make poison, and is arsenic detectable in an autopsy. Through all of this, Mr. Craig was making travel plans with and sending sexual explicit email to an orthodontist in Austin, Texas, with whom he was having an affair, the affidavit shows. Angela was increasingly getting ill throughout the month of March. She went to the hospital on March 6th, March 9th, when she was admitted until the 14th of March, and then again a day after on the 15th of March, her final fateful stay. She had been suffering from extreme vomiting, headaches, low blood pressure, and dizziness. Her eyes couldn't focus, and she knew something was seriously wrong with her. In a text message exchange with her husband that are pictured in court documents, Angela complained to her husband that she felt as she did when she took heavy drugs, as if she was moving through gel. Texts obtained by detective between the couple also indicate that Mr. Craig referred to previous poisoning suspicion himself in the days leading up to his wife's death, telling her, "Given our history, I know that must be triggering. Just for the record, I didn't drug you." Doctors could not figure out what was wrong with Angela, but her husband's colleagues had their suspicion. Some knew that the couple had been having marital problems, and an office manager had also noticed strange behavior, detailing in the affidavit how she's seen Mr. Craig working on a computer in an exam room, though he rarely used the space and had his own device. He also told her to be on alert for personal packages he'd ordered to the office, adding that she couldn't open it. But when another employee did, according to documents, the manager glanced inside and saw potassium cyanide. The employee Googled it and realized the symptoms match up with Angela's recent illnesses. One of Craig's colleagues informed a nurse at the hospital about the dentist's potassium cyanide purchase, and police were called. He tried to explain his way out of the situation by claiming that his wife had been suicidal and had made past attempts, which Angela's friends and children denied ever witnessing. Mr. Craig went as far as claiming that he had to revive Angela on not one but several occasions. He also alleged that Angela's supposed suicidal ideations had worsened after he brought up the possibility of divorce in December of 2022. But text messages between the couple paint a very different image. Exchange showed in the affidavits leading up to Mr. Craig's arrest that he had his wife under the impression that he wanted to patch things up with her. And while his wife fought for her life in a hospital bed, the disgraced dentist continued to thank church friends for their prayers, knowing that it was pretty scary not having answers. While Mr. Craig was expressing worries to friends and family, he was also discussing his wife's deteriorating condition with the Texas orthodontist with whom he was having an affair. It appears James was flying this woman into Denver while his wife and the mother of his children was dying in the hospital. When he tells the woman that something happened to his wife, she sent James an email explaining how sorry she was for him and that she wished she was helping him, not pulling him away. She states she knew it had to be so hard what he was going through and that she wanted to be there for him but did not want to mix in with his family and friends and pretend to be only a friend when there was something more, the affidavit states. That email to Mr. Craig's mistress was sent on March 16. Angela was pronounced dead 2 days later, and her husband refused the request to conduct an autopsy, including from relatives pleading for answers in a case that cause of her illness had been genetic. Mr. Craig argued that if doctors couldn't find the source of his wife's sudden illness while she was alive, he did not want them to be poking holes when she was dead. When Mr. Craig was arrested, it was a shock to many friends and family in the community. It had been a roller coaster of emotion. Michelle Redfern, the wife of Mr. Craig's business partner, who know the couple for 2 decades, told 9 News last month, "There's a lot to deal with as you go through that. It was coming to terms with deception and thinking that you knew somebody, but you didn't." The dentist was granted $10 million cash-only bond by a Colorado judge on the 27th of June after the state Supreme Court ruled the previous week that judges must set bond in murder cases. James Craig has been charged with first-degree murder in the death of his wife Angela Craig. No court date has been set yet. Our prayers and condolences goes out to Angela's children and the remainder of her family. It is such a betrayal when someone that you entrust your life with and love and take vows with betray you. May her soul forever rest in peace. Until next time on the Meaningful Talk Crime Doc, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch up with you guys later in the comment section.